Alright, so we're going to go down now and we're going to set up our next section. Great job. To create the sponsored icon section, we basically just need 5 images lined up next to each other. Although it does look more complex when the images look all cool, this is really just 5 images next to each other. You can actually right click and save image as from the Sydney demo if you want. And then you can save the sponsors so we can set up exactly that. But in your case, hopefully you will have some sponsors or different places where you've worked. So in my case, I actually will put up a real sponsor section, which is going to have places like HostGator and just a few other WordPress blogs. Alright, and then once you have your logos downloaded, if you want to make them totally grayscaled like this, you can open up the tool I like using called PicMonkey. I'll leave you a link in the description, but PicMonkey is basically the coolest way to become your own graphic designer in terms of cropping, adding borders, changing colors, putting cool text on top of images to make advertisements, and more. I think you get a free trial to get started, and I'm pretty sure you can get there through our link, so check it out. Once inside PicMonkey, you just need to click Open New, and then hit Computer to search your computer. You can just look up whatever you're going to work with, like HostGator logo. Alright, I should have a few to choose from because I've done so much with this awesome company. And so yeah, you can just grab whatever logo you like. And then I'm gonna scroll down to colors, and we're gonna make the saturation all the way, all the way 0. And that'll make the colors black and white. You can also change the temperature if you want, but in our case, actually maybe a little bit increase on temperature would look good. And then just apply it. Alright, now you have a grayscaled logo. Just click Export to get it back to your computer. Change it to JPEG so it'll save a little bit more space, less weight. When you upload to WordPress is always good. And then we will just export it and save it. Now we can just come back to Elementor and drag in, you guessed it, an intersection. So we're just going to drag it in the middle right there. Alright, and now we can just click on Elements and pull in a text editor, which is going to contain an image. Alright, so throw that in the left column. Now we're going to highlight the text and delete it. Add media. Upload files, select files. Grab our HostGator logo. Alright, there she is. Open. Under attachment display settings, I'm going to change the alignment to center the image and also make sure this links to a custom URL. And then from size medium, we're going to change it to large so it's a little more high resolution, and then insert into post. Awesome. Okay, so once you have the logos you want to use, we're just going to add another text area on the right. So Elements, Text Editor. Right, delete the text. Add media, upload files, select. Alright, I'm going to get the Weston Baker logo and the ProBlogger logo. Alright, so we'll keep the alignment, center, content, URL, custom URL, and then size large and enter into post. Alright, and now we can just duplicate the column that one of these text editors lives in. And that will make sure that the logos stretch across the screen and they're roughly the same size, which looks great. And if you find that one of your logos is floating a little bit further down and isn't vertically centered with other logos, you can just click on that specific logo, like Blogging and Writing with Purpose. Click on the pencil and then make sure you're in Advanced. Unlink the margin and then just give it a top margin of not 20 but negative 20 or something like that. And it should line up perfectly. And update. Alright, so this section just needs a background and maybe a little more padding and margin, and then we're done with it. Let's click on the outer section settings, and to stretch the background across the screen, stretch the section. And then to give it a color, hit Style, Background Type Classic, and color of another color, like gray. The only problem here is that highlights how our logos in these cases, like HostGator, don't have a transparent background. They had a white background, and we're a little bit too lazy to remove that white background right now, even though I can tell you how if you want. So instead of a background color, let's clear that and let's just give this section a border. Let's hit border and then make the border type solid, and then we can do some cool features with the border, like make it a color of gray, close the color. We can also give it a box shadow. We can also curve it with the border radius if you want. But what I'm going to do is just give it a box shadow, which should have a nice little 3D effect around it. So maybe more people will focus on this section. Kind of jumps off the page. Super cool. So now we just need to make sure all of our logos are centered. We're going to have to put a little more space up top. So let's click Advanced. And then let's give this section some padding. Just unlink the padding, hit top. Try about 20. That looks like it's centered everything in the middle. Not sure if this is 20 and that's 20. Maybe more like 24 is perfect. That looks great. Now we can update it and see what we made. And when we go to our home page, let's click on the hamburger icon and now click View Page. And we should see a much prettier as featured on section. All right, great job. Really pops. Just gonna give it a little more spacing up top there. So scroll down and spacing up top. All right. What do we have? We had 24 and it looks like more like 30 is going to be good. Sometimes you're looking at the editor in Elementor and the way it looks on your home screen has a little bit more or less space. Not often. Usually Elementor is exactly what you'll be seeing, but in some really precise instances, like you just have to play with the numbers a little bit. All right, and looks like we nailed it. Great job.